our initiative where our aim is to create content in and around entrepreneurship and to answer most common questions people have towards different areas of businesses. In this initiative, we will be inviting industry expert, D2C founders, CXOs, enablers to share their experiences and expertise with all of us. This is our way of giving back to the society and to spread entrepreneurship amongst our audiences. Our vision with this initiative is to keep our existing community of sellers, merchants, and partners to the over and to keep them updated over the latest possibilities in the business. Today's guest is Mrs. Trishaa Rajani Vaidya. Trishaa has managed to grow Dr. Vaidya's from a startup to a full-blown successful business. Her business and operation acumen has made Dr. Vaidya's what it is today. Post-acquisition by the RPG Group, Trishaa keeps on mentoring startup and help them achieve their business goals. Without further ado, I would like to call upon a successful D2C founder and a leader in managing D2C logistic operation, Trishaa Rajani Vaidya, the founder and ex CEO at Dr. Vaidya's. Welcome, Trishaa, to the Yaari Academy.
Hi, Vishal. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for starting this initiative. I think it's super useful for someone who's been on the other side and been a founder. I kind of wish, you had this when we were building our business, of course, as well. It would have been super useful. So thank you so much.
Never too late.
Yes.
Right. So, Trishaa, today's topic is how to optimize logistic operation during Diwali, or for that matter, any peak season. How one should plan things to ensure that they can have maximum in the season surge. What are your takes into it?
So honestly, yes. So honestly, I think it's for someone, again, I can talk from personal experience that, when you're a founder, you're trying to do 500 things at one time, you're trying to grow, and you get blindsided quite easily. Because sales come, peak season comes, you never know how to plan for it. So either you plan too much inventory, too less inventory, both situations aren't good. Especially when businesses are younger, it takes a huge impact even on something else. Your cash flow will take a little bit of a, not a little bit, but if you get the calculations wrong, quite a bit of a hit, right? Mm-hmm. So we had that, to be honest. We had one major season where we were literally having to call customers and cancel orders because we just had completely incorrectly planned inventory. And honestly, that's a really tough space to be in, because one is you have spent money to acquire that customer. Correct. Two is then you have spent money to call that customer and apologize. But three is that customer has had such a bad experience with your brand that the chances are you've lost that customer, right? Especially when you're a new brand that is trying to build customers and build trust within customers. So I think let's divide it into a few parts, right? There's inventory, there's logistics operations, customer delight, and then looking at marketing. All four, according to me, verticals needs to be, aligned, looked at. And guys, don't worry. I hope none of you all think that, Diwali is around the corner. Diwali is the start of your festival.
Of the system. Correct.
Right? So you have December, you have it up till December, January, even going up to is your festive season. So you have this whole period to plan for, and you will make mistakes, and it's okay. We will all learn from them together. I think the first thing in terms of inventory, right? Be realistic about what your inventory growth has been in the last couple of months. And therefore, in this festive period, what are the products you are looking to push? What are the products, promotions, offers you are looking to promote? And based on that, plan your inventory, right? So typically, when we would look at our inventory sales planning, we would look month and month, we keep a 20-25% growth and add, say, 20% to that in terms of finished goods inventory. That's how we always managed ours. Now, we knew in October, November, December time, coming Diwali, etc., we were running certain buy one, get one offers. We were running certain flash sales with marketplaces. We were running certain best deals on our own website, because you'll have issues of increased CPM, higher CAC. So how do you compensate that? So we knew which products we were identifying. We also picked products where we knew that the lead time, if we needed to manufacture again, was the lowest, right? So you have to kind of plan that. Be honest and say that your best sellers are what you're going to push. Your best sellers is what you're going to promote. Your best sellers is what you're going to discount, right? You can try and get rid of dead stock or certain products that haven't moved, but focus on your top selling SKUs as well. Be very clear of what your threshold level is in terms of inventory. So say, for example, we planned that for 2 weeks of October, starting from Diwali till the end of the month, we were going to sell 1,000 units of product X. And we realized in 4 days only, instead of 1,000 units, we have ended up selling 600 units in 4 days. So 10 days, I definitely will oversell. At that time, you need to take a decision for a few things. If that campaign is doing well, can I add on another product to that campaign? 2, do I have enough lead time to actually work with my suppliers or my own factory to manufacture more? So the biggest thing you need to do is give your suppliers, it could be internal or external, a heads up that this is our plan. We could go higher. Do you have the raw materials in place? Because raw materials is typically what takes the longest time to procure, whereas finished goods to actually manufacture not normally takes a large time. So be very clear. Honestly, during sale period, we would monitor inventory daily, right? And I cannot stress how much that is important. That's your supply side. Number 2, before we get into the operations, I want to talk a little about the marketing. Now, everyone says, oh, Amazon is going to give me crazy sales, crazy volume. Now, the truth is, think about it logically. Amazon, why do they say that? Is because a lot of traffic comes to the platform. But that's also the time where the platform is the most competitive, right? People are on discount. You're competing against a lot of brands. Be realistic in your expectation that during sale period, best sellers will do well. New products don't tend to do well. The thing that happens for new products is you will get impressions, you will get views that you can convert later. But Amazon, I remember there was a time where the word Shilajit, one of our hero products was Herbo 24 Turbo. The keyword Shilajit, larger players who have the capital just, with their CPCs 10x of what they were earlier doing, I couldn't afford to do that. I didn't have the bandwidth. I didn't have the capital. So I chose not to do that, right? I chose to let go of that marketing activity and not take part in such a plan, which was a decision we took as a business because we wanted to stay in our budget. That's another thing, right? 2 is, according to me, how are you going to compete with your competitors who are giving high discounts? I may not have the margin to give a 50% off. I may not. But can I do that in an opportunistic way for my exclusive loyal customers? Can I do it for a timed manner with a marketplace to say, okay, I will give you 50% off for 1 hour, 2 hours. In turn, you give me a homepage banner. How can I opportunistically look at doing that? Another big mistake is, especially on a platform like Amazon, if you try to push new launches, your new launch will have 0 reviews. Not going to pick up.
Nobody will buy.
Yeah. No one will buy. So personally, I recommend pushing your best sellers during season time, right? And then you can always make creative offers or bundles to try and get rid of excess stock. CPMs are going to increase. CACs are going to increase. That nothing can be done about it, right? That's your marketing. When it comes to operations, right? Honestly, that becomes the biggest hurdle and backbone. To be honest, everything, according to me, comes to your customer. And this part, I feel, unfortunately, brands ignore, because this is to, I may want to buy your product, but if you've given me a terrible customer experience by not giving me my order and taking the money, I promise you that trust in the brand goes completely, right? And 99.9999% of brands, you rely on third-party logistic partners, right? Like a Shipyaari, to actually help you. Now, tomorrow, if you were doing 50 orders a day and suddenly you're doing some special offer on an Amazon, or you're doing a special offer on your website, it is your duty as a brand to work with Shipyaari as your partner and tell them, hey, heads up, guys, normally we do 50 orders a day. We are expecting a higher volume to say about 300, 400 orders a day. Please align your courier partners and your teams for the same. So everyone in your supply chain then is notified. Shipyaari can notify their team. Shipyaari can notify the courier partners team, who will then notify their team. And that whole process becomes seamless. If you don't notify your partners and you expect them to just manage high volumes when all across the board volumes are high, doesn't make sense. Number two, honestly, like we experienced this, be very, very clear of which logistics partners to pick. What happened to us once is eCart is a provider we used to use quite regularly through Shipyaari. Now, what happened to us is during the sale period, Flipkart's volumes itself increased tremendously. We were in a situation that Flipkart is eCart, so eCart was obviously going to prioritize Flipkart's orders.
Correct.
5,000 orders of ours, just imagine the volume, came returned to us without attempt. Now, sure, they didn't charge us, but can you imagine me having to coordinate 5,000 orders?
5,000 customers.
And calling, apologizing to customers, and then realigning with another courier partner. Impossible, right? Like, it was not impossible. I did it. I lost a bunch of customers as a result. But lesson learned from that is pick courier partners who can check volume. How do you know who the right courier partner is? Ask Shipyaari team. Ask your POC there that this is my volume that I'm looking to do. How do we split it across multiple courier partners? How do we keep it as backend? If I have an SOS order to do, for example, if a customer is extremely upset, what is the process and charges for express orders? So you are all aligned, right? And honestly, work with your partners to come up in a seamless manner. Not every day, where is this order? Where is this order? No, maybe twice a day, maybe at the end of the day, have a system where the orders are being checked, tracked, tats are being maintained, because traffic's volumes, pressures are high on everyone and team sizes are low. That's a given. Now, if you are expecting your courier partners and your logistics partners and your Shipyaari partners to be operational on Diwali days, you need someone in your team to be operational as well. It's very clear. You need to plan and incentivize your team that during peak days, including the day of Diwali, including the day of Christmas, your team is open, right? How you plan that rota system, how you incentivize that team to be open is up to you. But you need to have your packing team, your supply chain team, your customer service team, your logistics coordinator team, however you're set up. These roles need to be present at the warehouse on these days as well. One is for customer experience and delight. But the other thing is marketplaces also have extremely strict rules. If you tell them I'm going to be shut on 2 executives days, your brand will not show your sale. So you better check with each marketplace, right? That's very, very, very critical to do. The other thing, it all comes down to customer delight and customer experience. Do not take more than you can deliver. Take what you can deliver. If your stocks are going out, if your logistics teams aren't able to manage, if your own warehousing team is not able to manage, you need to be honest and say, look, sorry, we aren't able to fulfill. There is going to be a 2-week delay. Pre-book here, 15% off. Be honest with the customer. One genuine experience I have is if you are honest with your customer, they trust you. If they trust you, they believe in your brand. If you have unfortunately not planned your inventory right or not dispatched your order in time, be truthful about the delays. Do not try and make it up to the customer by lying to them. They will lose trust in your brand. Be very clear that what is in your control. Your control is I receive an order from the customer. I need to align to dispatch the order in the quickest time possible. Does that mean you need to change delivery timelines? So I'll tell you another trick we used to do. Actually, we did it with, I don't know if you will remember Vishal, but we had done this quite strategically during season time. Is we picked 4 courier partners. We also had volume, I give you that. So we could do it. We picked 4 courier partners who come at different times.
Different times, yeah.
1 p.m. to 7 p.m. to collect the orders. So what did that make us do is we could process orders throughout the day and dispatch orders quicker. So I knew I still remember the timings. 1 p.m. e-com would be the first company to come. And 6:30 at that time, FedEx was still operational in India for B2C in India. 6:37, FedEx would come. So I knew between 1:30 to 6:30 also, I could process more orders, plan more orders to dispatch with FedEx, right? So that way, between me and the Shipyaari team and my team and Shipyaari team, we could align volume, we could split up volume, and I could make sure as many orders that need to be dispatched in a timely manner are dispatched. You will learn this, and Vishal will be able to give you much more data than I can, but every day delayed of an order is a higher chance of the customer refusing the order.
Yeah.
Right? So that is in your control. Second, if your order is going to be delayed because of some unforeseen circumstance, which happens, by the way, which is no one's control, pick up the phone and call the customer and say, look, I'm really sorry. We're trying our level best to get there. I know the order was meant to reach you on the 22nd, but unfortunately, there is this delay and the order will not be able to reach you before the 24th. Call, answer, be honest. I cannot stress that enough. The other thing is, people are on holiday. People are on leave. So chances are their orders are late. They're going to pick up the phone and call you. If you have a number available to call, if you have an email address available to be answered to, and if you have a WhatsApp number that a person can reach out to as a brand, you need to be very, very clear that someone has to be answering that on the other end, right? The customer, be in a reasonable time. So I think a reasonable time is to be operational from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., right? Mm-hmm. Within this period, you need to be able to answer the customer, not when you are convenient, when the customer wants to speak to you. That's another mistake brands make. So be very clear. You have a platform which has all your tracking details, so you don't have to worry. Your customer service team doesn't have to worry, right? Communication goes out to the customer already at all stages of the order. So there's no worry about data and about not having the answer, but 100% have that call ready, right? Have that person answering that call as well. Keep your team incentivized during the season, right? Celebrate the wins. If you have said that, okay, we're going to dispatch 200 orders today and you'll manage to dispatch 300 orders today, celebrate that with your team. On Diwali day, for the people who have come to office and are working, order lunch for them. Make it a little special for them. Do a little puja. You need to keep everyone motivated. Your partners have done a good job, and helped you through that. Call them and thank them, right? Tomorrow, if your partner has not done a good job, you don't hesitate to pick up the phone and yell at them. How about when they've done a good job in the spirit of Diwali and happiness, thank them also for it. This is genuinely something I believe that your ecosystem and your partners will make or break your business. So you have to work together with each partner, be it your operations partner, your supply chain partner, your marketing partner. Work in tandem with them, because that is what's going to actually take it a long way. But yeah, those are the main points that I wanted to touch upon. Is there any other questions, Vishal, that you want me to deep dive in further?
Yeah, couple of questions, Trisha. As in, during your talk, you have stressed upon inventory planning, working capital, logistics, and people. Definitely, these all are very important. With respect to working capital, how do you find that how COD remittances, a quick COD remittances help during the seasons and during the rush, wherein, like you said, that if there is an unplanned inventory to be ordered, definitely there would be a cash crunch and working capital requirements are to be there. So how do you find what should be the COD remittances planned upon?
Sure. Also, I saw a request, Vishal, to try and speak a little more in Hindi. So I'm going to try. Unfortunately, my Hindi is not as good as my English. So apologies, guys. I will do my best to balance it. But so I think as a business, आपको देखना है कि मेरे अक्टूबर, नवंबर, दिसंबर क्या कैश फ्लो पोजीशन है, राइट? COD remittance जल्दी लेना है, what, 1%, 2% typically, right?
1%.
1%, 1%, okay? तो इन दैट ग्रैंड स्कीम ऑफ थिंग्स के सपोज मैं ये पीरियड में जहां मेरा इन्वेंट्री ज्यादा होगा, राइट, लोग कम क्रेडिट पीरियड देंगे क्योंकि सबके लिए क्रंच टाइम है, तो जो भी पहले चेक देगा, जो भी फुल पेमेंट देंगे, सप्लायर उनको देंगे, राइट, दैट्स वेरी क्लियर। सो ये 2-3 महीना के लिए मुझे थोड़ा कंफर्ट मिलने के लिए या तो मुझे थोड़े थोड़े और मार्केटिंग डॉलर्स मिलने के लिए, राइट, सो कि मैं वो थोड़ा और स्पेंड कर सकती हूँ मार्केटिंग पे और मुझे टेंशन नहीं है कैश फ्लो पे, आई वुड एक्सप्लोर टेकिंग इट, right? I would explore taking it for the 1 month, 2 month period, especially if your cash on delivery component is more than 60-65% of your order volume. Or very simple, na calculation karo. If your COD remittance you typically get in 15 days, 20 days, depending on delivery, where your location, plus 8 days, I'm assuming. Check karo कि if I take it for 1.5 months, the 1%.
What is the additional cost? Yeah.
What is the additional cost versus what is the benefit it gives me in terms of playing around with more capital, playing around with more capital for supply, playing around on capital for marketing के लिए भी. So a combination.
Right. अच्छा, when it comes to packaging, तो हमने कैसा पैकेज करना चाहिए? Because season के time पे there are a lot of homepreneurs as well. They keep on getting orders from different from their कस्टमर्स की यहाँ से ऑर्डर ले लिया, कोई घर पे बैठे बैठे कोई फूड आइटम बना रहा है, कुछ कर रहा है, एंड दे ट्राई टू सेल थिंग्स ओवर व्हाट्सएप और ओवर सोशल मीडिया. सो यहाँ पे पैकेजिंग को लेके हमने कैसा ध्यान रखना चाहिए सो दैट द ऑर्डर रीचेस इन अ सेफ कंडीशन, ऑल्सो इट गिव्स अ गुड इम्प्रेशन टू द कस्टमर दैट वॉट एवर दे हैव ऑर्डर्ड वो सही चीज ऑर्डर की है, इट इज नॉट ऐसे कोई शेडी नहीं लग रहा है.
सो ऑनेस्टली आप होम एंटरप्रेन्योर हो तो आपका कॉस्ट्स भी अंडर कंट्रोल होगा, आपके पास वॉल्यूम इतना नहीं होंगे कि यू कैन डू मे बी कस्टमाइज पैकेजिंग टुडे.
करेक्ट.
तो आप कैसे ऐड कर सकते हो? 2-3 चीज. कस्टमाइज टेप, राइट, नॉर्मल कोरोगेटेड बॉक्सेस आप खरीद सकते हो मार्केट में जो रेडी है, और इसके ऊपर आपका खुद का टेप बना सकते हो जो टेम्पो प्रूफ भी होगा. तो फिर आपको पता है कि जब कस्टमर को ये ऑर्डर मिलेगा तो हमारा टेप है तो कुछ मिसहैप नहीं हो सकते. नंबर 1. 2, 2 चीज, आप कस्टमर को पर्सनलाइज नोट लिख सकते हो क्योंकि ऑर्डर वॉल्यूम कम है, तो कस्टमर डिलाइट जो हम कहते हैं, राइट, कि जब व्हेन आई ओपन योर ऑर्डर एंड आई सी दैट पर्सनलाइज नोट, डियर ट्रिशा, थैंक यू फॉर ऑर्डरिंग, हियर इज माय नंबर, वुड लव टू हियर योर फीडबैक, थोड़ा प्रोडक्ट के बारे में, थोड़ा ब्रांड के बारे में, दैट्स अनदर वे टू डू इट, राइट. 3 इज डिपेंडिंग आपके प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर, राइट, डोंट think of the cost in 2 ways. One is, सपोज मेरा कांच का बॉटल है, राइट, उसको बबल रैप करने का कॉस्ट होगा, शायद वो कॉस्ट थोड़ा ज्यादा है, पर सोचो फिर मैं बबल रैप नहीं करती हूँ तो जब ऑर्डर पहुंचता है कस्टमर के पास और टूटा हुआ है तो कौन सा और बुरा है, राइट. सो यू हैव टू थिंक ऑफ दैट एज वेल कि the product needs to reach the customer in the best quality possible, कि when they open it the product is not damaged at all. And I think that there are many ways like writing notes, adding coupon code, adding your brand color where you want to, adding stickers about your product. All of these ways, if you cannot see, because customized packaging and all minimum order होते हैं, right? 50,000 यूनिट, 1,00,000 यूनिट, you don't know the size, you don't know quantity कितना लोग ऑर्डर कर रहे हैं, छोटा बॉक्स में जाएगा, बड़ा बॉक्स में जाएगा, we don't know. Correct. So I would not invest at the moment in personalized boxes or sleeves. I would invest in personalized tape or stickers.
Perfect.
Again, and you have options of bubble wrap. You have options, thermocol का भी है, and you will also see Amazon uses this, which you can also go and buy in the any कोई भी market में, airbags.
Airbags, yeah.
तो use कर.
Right. You had stressed upon communicating with the customer, right? As in, at any given point of time, हमने customer से हमेशा बात करते रहनी चाहिए. But वो शायद हर बार possible ना हो. So, how according to you should a logistic partner on behalf of you should communicate to the customer at every stage of the of their transit, so that if there is any delay or something, and how much that affects in the overall delivery ratio?
So I think it's a compromise, right? I think over communication भी अच्छा नहीं है, under communication भी अच्छा नहीं है. तो जब order dispatch हुए tracking details के साथ, I think वो one है, right? जब out to delivery हो, especially for cash on delivery के customer को पता है कि okay कोई आने वाला है आज या कल के दिन में, important. And तीसरा जब delivery हो जाएगा, बिकॉज आई थिंक वो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि क्योंकि कोई कस्टमर बोलते मुझे ऑर्डर ही नहीं आया, पर यू नो एज अ ब्रांड देन यू कैन से पर डिलीवर हुआ, आपको मैसेज भी आया, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट. एंड चौथा, इफ इट्स डिलेड और डिलेड डिलीवरी, राइट? ये चार चीज टाइम्स है जो आई थिंक वी शुड बी कम्युनिकेटिंग. कम्युनिकेशन कैन बी थ्रू SMS या ईमेल, डिपेंडिंग ऑन आपके कस्टमर का बिहेवियर, राइट? डिलेड डिलीवरी, शिपयारी टीम फॉर एग्जाम्पल फ्लैग्स टू यू, flags to the brand. अभी वॉल्यूम देख के the brand should see कि अच्छा सपोज ये कस्टमर इज अ हाई वैल्यू कस्टमर, if it's a loyal customer, new customer, pick up the phone and call and apologize also, right? This should be done, I feel, internally with the brand team. I think Shipyaari ka the logistics team, the logistics partner, their responsibility is to indicate to you कि which flag to you कि कौन से orders delay हुए. SMS जाएगा, ठीक है, बट दैट पर्सनल टच जो है ब्रांड को करना चाहिए.
बराबर. अच्छा, काफी लोग पूछते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ लेटली काफी सारे फुलफिलमेंट सेंटर्स, डार्क स्टोर्स वगैरह ओपन अप हो गए हैं, एंड पीपल आर वेरी क्यूरियस कि वेदर दे शुड इन्वेस्ट इन गेटिंग इनटू फुलफिलमेंट सेंटर्स और डार्क स्टोर. सो व्हाट अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, कि whether it actually affects the TAT, it affects the cost, or definitely ये क्या cost viable है, करना चाहिए लोगों ने?
तो honestly it comes down to one simple thing, आपके यूनिट इकोनॉमिक्स, राइट? आपके यूनिट इकोनॉमिक्स क्या है? आपको मार्जिन है कि यू कैन इन्वेस्ट इन दिस एंड इन्वेस्ट इन डार्क स्टोर्स, देन ऑफ कोर्स ग्रेट. मोस्ट कंपनीज मुझे नहीं लगता है, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. आई थिंक मेट्रोज में अभी 48 आवर्स के अंदर डिलीवर होती है. मेट्रोज के थोड़ा बाहर आओगे, दूर जाओगे तो 3 दिन लगेगा, 4 दिन लगेंगे, राइट? ऑफ कोर्स आपको लगता है कि ओके, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल हमें गुवाहाटी के पास एक शहर था जहां बहुत ऑर्डर्स आ रहे थे, पर वहां एवरेज टैट था 7 दिन बॉम्बे से जाना गुवाहाटी तक. तो हमने क्या किया, हमने गुवाहाटी में एक छोटा वेयरहाउस किया, या अभी जो डार्क स्टोर कहते हैं, दैट टाइम डार्क स्टोर का कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं था. ऐसे कुछ अपॉर्चुनिस्टिक जगह है जहां आपका वॉल्यूम बड़ा है कि फायदा बनता है कि फिर आपका ओवरऑल लॉजिस्टिक्स कॉस्ट भी एक्चुअली रिड्यूस होगा, क्योंकि मैं एक बड़ा शिपमेंट भेजूंगी गुवाहाटी और गुवाहाटी से मेरा लास्ट माइल डिलीवरी होगा, देन इट मेक सेंस. नाउ सपोज आपका प्रोडक्ट है मोर फूड रिलेटेड, राइट? मिठाई या आइसक्रीम या फूड रिलेटेड जो भी प्रोडक्ट है, then I would still tie up with still a Swiggy, Instamart जैसा. Not look at it yourself. जब आपके वॉल्यूम्स बड़े हैं, जब आपका कस्टमर is willing to pay more for quicker delivery, then look at dark store.
Okay, makes sense. Right. So we have a question from Vineet Patel, who asks, any 3PL warehouse services which can ship in festival duration, so we don't have more load with less staff. Basically वही है, टीम मैनेजमेंट के लिए कितना फर्क पड़ता है if we give everything to a 3PL. If I know my product is good, I know how to do marketing, but operation is something, it is always a challenging, and it is always a cost to a business. So everybody, सबको ये लगता है कि कॉस्ट कैसे कम करो, और कॉस्ट कम करने में आए तो सबसे पहले ऑपरेशंस में कटता है. तो हाउ टू इंश्योर दैट कि ये अगर ये कैसे ये डिसीजन लेवे कि 3PL में हम जाना चाहिए कि नहीं जाना चाहिए?
सी, जब तक आपको पता नहीं है कि आपका इन्वेंट्री लेवल क्या रखना चाहिए 3PL में, इट बिकम्स लिटिल डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि जब आप 3PL पे जाओगे, मतलब वेयर हाउसिंग, 3PL इज माय अजम्पशन के क्वेश्चन है वेयर हाउसिंग के बारे में, राइट? एंड देन पैकिंग, शिपिंग, डिस्पैच का। वन इज यू गेट कॉस्ट फॉर स्टोरेज, टू इज you get cost for inwarding, three is you get cost for packing, four is you get cost for dispatching, and fifth is you get cost for returns. तो आपको ये सब कॉस्ट ऐड करना पड़ेगा एंड चेक करना पड़ेगा कि एक्चुअली कॉस्ट पर ऑर्डर क्या आ रहा है फॉर वन ऑर्डर वर्सेस इफ यू वर डिस्पैचिंग फ्रॉम योर ओन वेयर हाउस, राइट? दैट्स नंबर वन। टू इज आपको पता होना चाहिए कि आपका देखो वॉल्यूम्स क्या है, अप्रोक्सीमेट वॉल्यूम्स, बेस्ट सेलर्स क्या है, कौन से यूनिट्स है, और हाउ क्विकली कैन टू यू री सप्लाई देम एंड हाउ क्विकली दे कैन दे इनवर्ड इट।
Correct.
It's a very simple thing. It's the decision is going to be based on cost. If the cost is not too much, चलो बोलो कि 3PL का कॉस्ट हायर हो आपके खुद के वेयर हाउस से, पर जो कन्वीनियंस फैक्टर आपको मिल रहा है is better, go ahead. But if the cost is 20% more, 25% more, I don't think unit economics will be able to take that.
Correct.
Right? So that is one challenge I have. See, any 3PL, there are so many right now from when I was there, and I'm sure you guys work, Vishal, much closer than I do with 3PLs. But you know, you have your Where IQs, Emizas, ANS, Incref, all of them who do warehousing. Now, remember one thing, जब आप छोटे ब्रांड हो थोड़ा और शुरू कर रहे हो, सबके पास मिनिमम गारंटी है, तो मिनिमम आपको 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 मंथ में भरना पड़ेगा। उतने ऑर्डर्स का डिस्पैच हुआ कि नहीं doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You have to, it's all a cost benefit analysis. And I'll tell you another thing, हम क्या करते थे during peak season, right? We used to actually hire, हम हमारे खुद के वेयर हाउस में टेम्पररी लेबर को हायर करते थे कि ओके वो जो भी दिन है जहाँ पे वॉल्यूम ज्यादा है, आई वुड पे हायर के मैं पर डे पे करती थी टेम्पररी वर्कर को, पर वो मेरे कंट्रोल में था कि आज बुलाओ, कितने को बुलाओ, 4, 3, 5, क्योंकि हमें पता होता था ऑर्डर वॉल्यूम, एंड नाउ यू पे 500 रुपीज, पर वो मेरे लिए और बेनिफिट था।
करेक्ट।
क्योंकि मेरे और मैच हो सकते थे और मैं प्लान करते थे वैसे।
करेक्ट। इन केस ऑफ एक्सेप्शंस कि अब मार्केटिंग हो गया, ऑर्डर्स आ गए, डिस्पैचेस हो गए, अब कितना भी कुरियर पार्टनर कितना भी प्रिपेयर्ड हो, दे कीप अस टेलिंग कि वी आर प्रिपेयर्ड, वी हैव एनहांस्ड आवर नेटवर्क एक्सेट्रा, बट एवरी ईयर हम हर साल देखते हैं कि हर साल वो ऑर्डर्स का वॉल्यूम बढ़ता ही रहता है। इस साल भी दिवाली का वॉल्यूम बढ़ गया है, एंड देयर इज अ लिस्ट ऑफ सिटीज वेयर कि जहाँ पे ऑपरेशनली इश्यूज चल रहे हैं कुरियर के। सो इन केसेस में एक्सेप्शंस आते हैं कि जहाँ पे अटेम्प्ट नहीं हुआ, इन केस लाइक यू आल्सो मेंशन कि 4,000 ऑर्डर वापस रिटर्न हो गए अटेम्प्ट के बिना। सो इसके लिए द बेस्ट इफेक्टिव, एक तो एनडीआर कॉलिंग तो करती है, आपकी टीम भी करती है, हमारी टीम भी करती है, शिपयारी से भी कॉल्स होते हैं एंड वी इंश्योर दैट कि अटेम्प्ट हुए। व्हाट एल्स यू शुड इंश्योर दैट एक्सेप्शन केसेस को हम अच्छे तरीके से हैंडल कर पाए एंड डेफिनेटली कस्टमर भी ना लूज हुए हमसे।
आई थिंक एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम ना पहले में होता, तो हमने भी यही लर्न किया कि ऑर्डर डिस्पैच होने के पहले ही कॉल करना चाहिए। अभी सॉफ्टवेयर है जैसे गोक्विक है जो आपका ऑर्डर्स को फिल्टर कर सकते हैं, एंड यू नो यू कैन से कि फ्रॉडुलेंट कस्टमर है, चांसेस ऑफ डिलीवरी क्या है। पर जो भी न्यू कस्टमर पहले डिलीवर कर रहा है, आप पहली बार डिलीवर उनको कर रहे हो, हमारी टीम, हमारे मतलब ब्रांड का टीम कॉल करके कंफर्म करते थे, जब कंफर्मेशन मिलता तभी हम डिस्पैच करते।
ओके,
राइट। उसके बाद आप जर्नी मैप करोगे ना, तो आपको फिर भी आरटीओ थोड़ा होगा, क्योंकि पता नहीं, आई मीन मन नहीं था, दूसरा प्रोडक्ट आया, बाहर गाँव गए, वो जब हमारे देश में सीओडी चलता है, देयरफॉर रिटर्न चलेगा, आरटीओ होएगा, एज लॉन्ग एज कि वो परसेंटेज आपकी कंट्रोल में हो और आप अकाउंट करते हो वो परसेंटेज के लिए फ्रॉम द वेरी बिगिनिंग ऑफ द मंथ, यू आर फाइन। दूसरी चीज, एनडीआर कॉलिंग जब होता है, अभी सपोज मुझे कोई अभी फोन कर रहा होता और वो 5 बार मुझे अभी फोन करेंगे, मैं फोन नहीं उठाऊंगी क्योंकि मैं मीटिंग में हूँ.
Correct.
तो यू नीड टू कॉल द कस्टमर एट डिफरेंट टाइम्स. और व्हाट्सएप, इंडिया में व्हाट्सएप चलता है.
करेक्ट.
तो मैं फोन नहीं उठाऊंगी अभी, पर अभी सपोज मुझे व्हाट्सएप आता तो ठीक है, मैं आधा घंटा के बाद रिप्लाई कर सकती थी व्हाट्सएप में. राइट. तो जो भी कम्युनिकेशन मोड कस्टमर पसंद करते हैं वो ही यूज करो. एंड आई टेल यू, ऑन एवरेज 3-4 बार अटेम्प्ट्स के बाद, कॉल अटेम्प्ट्स के बाद, फिर भी कनेक्टिविटी 70 से 75% से ज्यादा नहीं होगा.
नहीं होता है. करेक्ट.
आई एम श्योर विशाल आपके पास और भी डेटा होगा इसके बारे में. और रिटर्न होगा ही होगा. आपको लगता है कि आप 2% के नीचे जाओगे तो फिर प्रीपेड ही कर लो. और इसीलिए लोग करते हैं राइट कि ऑर्डर वैल्यू अबव 2,500 3,000 रुपीज ओनली प्रीपेड. दैट इज ऑल्सो फाइन क्योंकि आपका इन्वेंट्री फिर स्टक भी होता है.
करेक्ट.
तो यू कैन डू थिंग्स लाइक दैट.
प्रोबेबिलिटी भी है. सीओडी ऑर्डर में 50% प्रोबेबिलिटी तो रिटर्न की है, तो प्रीपेड है तो प्रोबेबिलिटी तो आपकी इंक्रीज है. सो मुझे एक और एक चीज था, एक किसी ने पूछा है कि मार्केटिंग किस हिसाब से करें सो दैट यू इंक्रीज द ट्रस्ट अमॉन्ग्स्ट योर कस्टमर, एंड हाउ कैन यू इम्प्रूव योर प्रीपेड ऑर्डर्स. या एक तो हो गया कि क्योंकि नॉर्मली सीओडी क्यों करता है, क्योंकि वो ब्रांड को ट्रस्ट नहीं करता, या कोई और रीजन होगा, बट मेजरली हमने जितना भी देखा है जहाँ पे आता है कि ब्रांड को ट्रस्ट नहीं करते, इसीलिए ज्यादा सीओडी होता है. बट उसको सीओडी को हम कैसे, या आपने क्या तरीका अपनाया था कि जहाँ पे सीओडी परसेंटेज हम रिड्यूस कर सके, प्रीपेड हम लोग ज्यादा कर सके, दैट ऑल्सो इंक्रीज रिड्यूसेस योर टैक्स, योर कॉस्ट एंड योर कैश फ्लो प्रॉब्लम्स.
मार्केटिंग का क्वेश्चन आई डिडंट फुली अंडरस्टैंड, सॉरी. या मैं सीओडी का पहले करूं, चलेगा?
दोनों भी, कैसा भी आपके हिसाब से.
ठीक है. तो ऑनेस्टली 2-3 चीज. वन इज चांसेस आर कि जो कस्टमर रिटर्निंग है, राइट, आपके जो रिटर्निंग कस्टमर है ऑलरेडी उनके एक बार आपका प्रोडक्ट का एक्सपीरियंस मिला, सर्विस मिले, ट्रस्ट है ब्रांड में कि इसलिए वो प्रोडक्ट पसंद हुआ है, इसलिए वो वापस ऑर्डर कर रहे हैं, राइट. तो वो सिचुएशन में आपको इंसेंटिवाइज करना चाहिए कि प्रीपेड ऑर्डर करें. कैसे करो? आप ऑर्डर में कूपन डालो उनको. जब उनका सपोज हम क्या करते थे, सपोज कोई हम डॉक्टर वैद्या से हर्बोफिट, जो हमारा च्यवनप्राश कैप्सूल था, ठीक है, वो खरीदते थे. हमें पता था कि 22nd डे तक उनको फोन करना है वापस ऑर्डर करने के लिए या रिमाइंडर भेजना चाहिए. जब हम वो रिमाइंडर भेजते हैं, हम उनको इंसेंटिव देते हैं कि ये डिस्काउंट लो, प्रीपेड के लिए 5% और आएगा डिस्काउंट आपको, ये कूपन कोड यूज करेंगे. तो वो ऑलरेडी इंसेंटिवाइज्ड है प्रीपेड यूज करने को क्योंकि उनको डिस्काउंट मिल रहा है. वो नंबर 1. नंबर 2, सीओडी को डिसइंसेंटिवाइज करना और प्रीपेड को इंसेंटिवाइज. तो हम क्या करते थे, 50 रुपीज फॉर सीओडी ऑर्डर, और इफ यू डू प्रीपेड 10% डिस्काउंट एंड नो शिपिंग चार्ज.
ओके.
तो वी डिड बोथ टू ट्राई एंड इंसेंटिवाइज अ न्यू कस्टमर. तो सपोज इवन दैट आरटीओ होगा, एटलीस्ट 50 रुपीज आई वी आर ट्राइंग टू सेव. और सीओडी अमाउंट का चार्ज जो है, फ्रेट चार्ज के ऊपर सीओडी चार्ज, आई ट्राई टू रिट्रीव समथिंग. बट वी यूज टू डू दोस टू. एंड आई थिंक ट्रांसपेरेंसी, राइट, कि कितने दिन में ऑर्डर आने आएगा, 2 days, 4 days, 5 days, पिन कोड चेक. If you do all these things to build trust and the customer can trust you, that's important. Another thing is कि अभी आप मामा अर्थ की वेबसाइट पे जब भी जाओगे, खाली चेकआउट चेक करो उनका. पेटीएम, डेबिट कार्ड, क्रेडिट कार्ड, वो सब लोगोस जो है, मैं ट्रस्ट करती हूँ कि मामा अर्थ का वेबसाइट, राइट, क्योंकि जैसे उनका पेमेंट गेटवे है, फ्रॉडुलेंट नहीं है. एंड आई कैन पुट माई कार्ड डिटेल्स. और अभी आपको ऑप्शंस देना है लोगों को कि वो पेटीएम पे करे या फोन पे, जो भी वॉलेट्स है. सो यू हैव टू गिव द कस्टमर ऑल द ऑप्शन सो दैट दे पिक द ऑप्शन कंफर्टेबल फॉर देम फॉर प्रीपेड.
Right.
That is all you can do. पर COD है इंडिया में. I genuinely believe के है.
Cash is king.
Cash is king. आपको दो चीज है, राइट? आपका इंडिया कॉन्सेप्ट है और भारत कॉन्सेप्ट है. आपको भारत को टैकल करना है, COD रखना है. वेरी सिंपल.
Correct. Perfect. I think there was one another question. How to resolve overweight issues? I think I'll take that. So okay. Overweight, maybe volumetric weight, I believe the question is towards.
Yeah.
So volumetric weight के लिए एक तो पैकेजिंग आपने सही रखनी चाहिए. Always use a corrugated box then a plier, so that आपके dimensions जो है वो stick रहे, standard रहे. प्लायर्स में कभी कोई कोना छूट गया, कुछ हो गया, तो सॉर्टर मशीन पूरा पकड़ती है. So we always suggest, and in fact from our fulfillment centers also we use corrugated boxes only. So वहाँ पे आपका volumetric weight in check रहता है. डेड वेट तो डेफिनेटली आप अगर प्रोडक्ट का है तो उसको कुछ कर नहीं पाएंगे, बट डेफिनेटली पैकेजिंग के इसमें हम लोग चेक कर सकते हैं कि हाउ स्मार्ट वी कैन चूज अ पैकेजिंग एज एन ऑप्शन wherein आपका volumetric weight कम से कम रहे. I guess that answers the question. You have anything to add?
जो आपने ही मुझे बताया था जब when we were looking at this, another thing to do is ना, आपका weight discrepancy कभी कभी होगा. तो what you actually should do, आपके जो standard boxes है high volume, उसका पहले से ही कुरियर पार्टनर के साथ डिसाइड करो कि ये मेरा है, ये मेरा वॉल्यूमेट्रिक का क्या होना चाहिए. सो देन लेटर जब आपका बिल आए, शुड बी नो सरप्राइजेस.
करेक्ट.
यू कैन पुट 200 ग्राम्स, पर एक्चुअली वॉल्यूमेट्रिक में 500 ग्राम्स है, तो कुरियर पार्टनर 200 ग्राम्स चार्ज नहीं करेगा, 500 ग्राम्स. शुरुआत से ही आपको पता होना चाहिए कि रियलिस्टिकली आपका वेट क्या है, 200 या 500 वॉल्यूमेट्रिक में.
राइट. आई थिंक वी हैव फिनिश्ड टेकिंग अप द क्वेश्चन. मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था त्रिशा आपसे, सिर्फ कि यू बीइंग फ्रॉम द ऑपरेशंस बैकग्राउंड, एंड जैसे मैंने पहले भी बोला था कि ऑपरेशंस को हमेशा देखा गया है कि ये कॉस्ट सेंटर है, बट ई कॉमर्स में दो ही चीजें हैं, एक तो मार्केटिंग है और दूसरा लॉजिस्टिक्स है, विच कैन आइदर बिल्ड योर ब्रांड और कैन ब्रेक योर ब्रांड. सो आप क्या बोलते हो कि इसमें कैसे इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए किसी ने, कि यू हैव एज इन हाउ शुड पीपल इन्वेस्ट इन ऑपरेशंस and should not look operation as a cost and should look कि आप यार सर्विस अच्छा दो, सर्विस में कैसे काम करें, या how should they demand rather?
Honestly, I think this is the biggest mistakes brand make is by ignoring operations and thinking कि अरे क्या फायदा है इसमें, क्यों इन्वेस्ट करे, टेक्नोलॉजी में इन्वेस्ट क्यों करे, टीम मेंबर में क्यों इन्वेस्ट करे, प्लेटफॉर्म में क्यों इन्वेस्ट करे. You don't realize कि आप इन्वेस्ट नहीं करोगे इसमें और सिर्फ मार्केटिंग डॉलर में, तो आपका बॉटम लाइन तो नेगेटिव ही नेगेटिव रहेगा. Honest, we had 2 co-founders, me and my husband. One looked at is how important it is for a business. If you don't have your operations sorted, matter if you're having a 5x ROAS or a 10x ROAS, because eventually your bottom line will be negative. Okay. So I call myself an operations junkie for one thing, is because I genuinely believe that getting the order in is not the difficult job. It's actually processing, getting the order delivered to the customer in the timely manner. That is the tougher job. And be very clear, जब तक डिलीवरी नहीं हो जाता है पैसा नहीं मिलता.
करेक्ट.
राइट. सो इफ यू थिंक दैट ओनली मार्केटिंग में इन्वेस्ट करना, absolutely not. You have to keep a budget towards investing in technology, team, partnership for operations. And you have to have, I made this mistake. Okay, I didn't hire a person to help me senior till very long. Now, what did that result in? The truth is, I was up till 4 in the morning every day tallying orders and processing orders, when I should have been focusing on running my business and trying to generate more revenue, trying to hire more people, launching more products, improving my website. But this headache was on my head because I didn't invest in a resource, which is my fault and my learning. Tomorrow when I start my new business, the first person I will hire is a operations manager. First
Correct.
person. Operations and account and finance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unless you know how much you are making, and only then you will be able to invest.
And be very realistic about how much you're making. It doesn't matter कि VC को क्या दिखाना है, नंबर क्या दिखा रहा है आपको. ग्रॉस रेवेन्यू 10 लाख है पर नेट आपका 4 लाख है बॉस. वी केयर अबाउट द 4 लाख नंबर. बैंक में क्या आएगा 4 लाख.
Correct. Okay. I think we have taken all the questions, whatever. So thank you, Trisha, for giving your time to us today, and क्या बोल सकते हैं, सबको knowledge share किया for that, and hoping to see you around.
Yes, and guys, good luck for the crazy next quarter. Put all your efforts to it. Do your best. Enjoy. Mistakes banega, no problem. Learn from them. Be as planned as you can. But it is tiring. I think, we need to realize also that this festive season gets tiring. So balance that out also. But it's also, we used to have our full family sitting and sticking labels, by the way.
Labels.
Festive season मतलब सबको काम करना है, no problem.
Festive season for businesses is भाई लक्ष्मी आनी है.
सबको आता है ना, लक्ष्मी बोलो सब करेंगे.
सब करेंगे, exactly.
ठीक है. Thank you so much, Vishal and team. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day. Thank you. Bye bye.